Well, in case you missed that, I said, should I start? I don't normally start the podcast. Shauna says I start well, but I never finish well, especially when we have company. And we have one of our favorite guests with us this morning for this podcast. Andrew Phung is with us. How are you?
Great, man.
Awesome. Now, listen, it's very exciting because we've talked to you a few times. The last time we talked to you, your show wasn't quite out yet, and now it's in full swing. You're the host of Big Burger Battle, and you can watch the program on the Flavour Network. You can also stream anytime at Stack TV. And so how are things going with the show? Good?
Things are great. We premiered last night. It was a joy to watch. I watched it with my kids.
Yeah.
My little son, my little guy, watched 20 minutes of it. It was great.
I'll give you 20 minutes.
20 minutes, and then he went outside and played hockey. And you know what? I'm not mad at it.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 8 years old.
Okay.
And he's riding a high right now of watching the Maple Leafs win. And he's and I put on the game the other day because he's into hockey. He plays on a hockey team. And I'm like, you want to watch? You watch the first period. He's like, I'm going to go outside for a bit. He comes back in, finishes the third period. There's all these penalties. There's a fight.
Yeah.
To a kid, that's unreal, right? And so 20 minutes of him watching my show is a big win. But my older son, he watched the whole thing and loved it. It was really
That's so nice.
They must be very proud of the old man, eh?
They're very proud, but this is all they've known.
Yeah.
They've only known me on TV and to have projects and shows. But it's still really cool.
Do they ever get embarrassed? And maybe they're still kind of young, but when, we do similar things, not on television, but podcast and radio. And if someone comes over and says, hey, I love your dad's show and whatever, they kind of get like, oh my God, please, you're embarrassing me. Do they get embarrassed at all by your fame?
I don't think they get embarrassed by the fame, but I think they are bothered when we're trying to do fun things.
Yeah, I get it.
Like if we're at the C&E or we're like at the Raptors game, Dad getting stopped is us delaying going to get popcorn or us going to play a game or on rides.
Yeah.
And it's happened where like I've been at the Calgary Stampede and I'm a Calgary kid, lots of fans out there. I get stopped. I have to tell my family, you go, I'll meet you there because I don't want to hold them up.
Yeah.
So I think it is a very conscious thing in my mind.
Yeah, and like I actually had those conversations with my kids because one of my kids was like, we're at the rink, and that's where I tend to find a lot of like our listeners.
Yeah.
And he's like, Dad, you just don't stop talking to them. I'm like, you have to understand, I don't want to be that person, and that they are the reason why we are able to live the lifestyle that we live.
That's why you have that stick.
Exactly. You have a $400 freaking stick.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, listen, I want to show the respect and be nice and be kind and have a chat with them. We're not going to sit there all day, but I also don't want to be like, hey, I got to run.
Yeah.
So I respect that you do
Well,
that.
recently my older son, someone came up and I saw someone. I was like, yo, what's up, man? How you doing? And we have a whole chat. And my son's like, did you know him? And I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
He's like, you treated him like you knew him. And I'm like, Nico, I treat any person that recognizes me like I know them.
Right.
Because firstly, I might know them and I have a terrible memory.
Yes.
But two, if I don't know them, that person walks away and is a fan for life.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Like I saw Andrew Phung at the Costco, super nice. We chatted for a few minutes. He made a joke and that was their moment, right? And I love being able to do that because you're right. This is a gift that we have these jobs and they keep us in business. And the fact that anyone recognizes a Canadian actor in this country is massive. And then an Asian actor on top of that. I didn't think growing up as a kid this would ever happen in my lifetime.
So I got to tell you something, too. When you mentioned about your kid watching hockey and loving hockey, I'm a first-generation Canadian, okay? So my parents are no longer with us, but right off the boat from England. Yeah. Very, very proud Brits. I never knew anything about hockey growing up when I was 8 years old. Yeah. And so, like, all my friends would go out and play road hockey, and they're like, I'm Wayne Gretzky, I'm Mark Messier, and I'm like I'm Sir, Simon Chandler. Yeah. And they're like, who's that? I'm like, he plays for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yeah.
And so I think it's great that, you got your kids into hockey at a young age and, becoming very Canadianized, because I will say this, I didn't feel like I was a Canadian until I was about 21 years old.
Oh, really?
And I'll just start doing my own thing with my, and then now I'm forcing my kids to, not forcing, but I said, there's nothing more Canadian than hockey. So at least learn how to skate. I don't care if you play or whatever, but just it becomes such a huge part of the lifestyle here in Canada.
I will admit this, the hockey was never the intent. Like I actually because I never played hockey growing up. Mm-hmm. But hockey has a bit of a culture issue where, for me, I was always a bit concerned. There's a bit of a bullying culture in hockey at times. Like for me growing up, I noticed it. But also just like in regards to physicality, I always worry with my kids. So my older son plays basketball. My younger son found hockey just at school. He came home and he's like, someone gave me a Connor McDavid card. And I'm like, I guess we're into hockey now.
Yeah.
And so I'm discovering hockey with him.
You said the same thing, right, Johnny? Like about hockey culture and the concern for that. So a lot of parents are like, I'm not sure I want my kid to go into that.
Yeah. My wife is kind of in and out on. I have two. They're 6 and 4. They're still trying to discover it.
Yeah.
But I think on any level, like if you want to really exceed at something, there's a culture, like an underlying culture of bullying and want to be the best and all that stuff, whether it's dance or gymnastics or hockey or whatever.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter.
But what I've found is I've got 3 boys. I got a 16, 14, and a almost 11-year-old. And the 14's really into hockey. He plays 12 months a year. What I do find I like about it is that, a lot of times with school, and I understand it, it's not like how we were disciplined, right? Yeah. And I love that they care a lot about their mental health and all that kind of stuff. But sometimes they just don't get the discipline that I think they need. What I do love about sports, especially, as they get a little bit older, is it teaches you respect. It teaches you commit to something, you do it. Camaraderie, teamwork, the locker room, friendship, there's so much. Yes, there's definitely some negatives to it, and that makes headlines. But I think pound for pound, like in local arenas, basketball courts, soccer fields, it's all such good stuff.
Yeah, team sports. I think we're talking about team sports
totally.
As a whole. I would also argue math. For me, it was math.
Right. Yeah.
Growing up, my mom, me, math.
Right.
Teaches you the same discipline.
Yeah. Just listen. I was not a mathlete at all.
Mathlete! I haven't heard that word in so long.
Mathlete, and I was not.
Holy smokes, mathlete!
We had mathletes in school, and they were also a lot of those guys at the AV club. They got to bring the television in, and they just knew. I wasn't an athlete nor a mathlete.
So what kind of elite were you?
Not elite. I wasn't. I just talked nonstop. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Big Burger Battle, and I just love a show that's based on, to me, it's the greatest food of all time.
Yeah.
And you must be having a lot of fun, and I'm guessing a lot of wackiness is going on in this show.
Well, just the nature of the show is having Andrew Phung as a host is already going to have a lot of comedy and a lot of jokes and pranks and bits to it. But just at the core of the show is we take 7 of North America's best burger chefs and we put them to the test.
I love it.
And I love a burger because a burger is accessible. Everyone eats hamburgers. Anyone can make a burger. A burger could cost $1, right? Or $100.
Yeah.
And that's why I love a burger. You can make it really classy, make it big, or you keep it really simple. And each of the challenges, like last night on our debut episode, one of the challenges we did was onion rings.
Oh,
and someone took bacon and put it in the batter. So we had bacon battered onion rings. Like that shouldn't exist. Like my mind, I had to stop and process it. Then the next round was, you got to make a hamburger, but no buns. Instead, 2 grilled cheeses. So the buns were grilled cheeses with the hamburger inside. Like that is wild to me, and that's where we're taking the show. We're taking to bigger, better levels of the burger, right? But at the core, I think you got to know how to cook a great hamburger. Well, none of those work.
I think maybe you won't be as good as a professional chef, but if I'm watching that at home with my kids, they're like, Dad, forget burger buns, make grilled cheese,
That's
and
true.
then turn it right.
Yeah,
so
the whole family.
Yeah, you could do it at home yourself, right? I'm sure there's lots of inspiration.
You could do it at home yourself. You can do it by yourself if you want. You can do it for your family. You can do it on a date.
Do they expect you to come home from these shows and these filmings with like extraordinary chef skills now?
I think this was the first time I did a show like this, so I don't think there was an expectation, but there was definitely prep. Like leading up to it, I was trying to learn how to make a great hamburger. I was watching tutorials. I was trying things. And after the show, working with Connie D'Souza and George Modes, who were the judges on the show, George is, I call him Hamburger Daddy. He's the burger daddy. He owns Hamburger America in New York. He's like the burger scholar. Whereas Connie D'Souza, she is a master butcher. They know the science behind everything in regards to burgers. So just sponging off them for the entire production, I learned so much. So I think I'm trying to be a better man. It's what I'm trying to say.
You know what I do sometimes? I just say things like, if I'm making burgers for people, homemade burgers, I'm like, oh, it's 80-20. I think that's 80% ground beef and 20% pork or something, because there's supposed to put a lot of fat in there.
Yeah.
It's not. It's just ground beef, but I say it's 80-20 just to kind of make it sound like I know what I'm talking about.
Because you're using math and numbers to make yourself look smart.
I'm a mathlete slash
You are
chef.
a mathlete, right? A little bit
A little bit of a chef.
Yeah.
So, Johnny, you have a game, don't you?
Yeah, I just want to know, because you're around burgers so much, and I think that everybody's burger is so personal, and I think you can see that with the chefs and the judges and whatnot. So I looked up some of the more controversial burger toppings.
Whoa.
I just want to hear in or out.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'm not going crazy here, but they say mayonnaise is a controversial topping.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I think it can be. I think there's purists who would say it shouldn't be part of it. I think it's in. I think it should be in. I love mayonnaise.
What about an egg?
Oh, I love an egg. Because egg is big in Asian culture in regards like you fry up an egg, put it on rice, right? You put it on beef bowls.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love an egg on a burger.
All right, let's go a little bit more savory here and say just peanut butter. Peanut butter on a burger.
So I'll say this. Before Big Burger Battle, I would have said, hell no.
Yeah.
After Big Burger Battle, yes, I would.
It's
Really?
a thing.
Yes, I would try. I would do it. Because on the show, every round, every challenge, the chefs are coming up with things that I didn't know were possible. And so there is one chef that instead of mayonnaise uses a layer of cotton candy on one of his burgers. Should not work.
Right.
My teeth hurt thinking about it, but it's delicious.
It screams diabetes.
It does. It screams it as a warning label of diabetes. But man,
Wow.
it's great.
Here, I'll scream diabetes from the mountaintop. You said grilled cheeses as buns, but what about these things you're seeing now? Donuts as buns.
There's a picture on my phone that if someone asked me, what is the burger that broke you? That is the burger.
Really?
Someone came at us with 2 smash patties and the buns were glazed donuts. And inside was 2 strips of candied bacon.
Let's go, man.
That broke me. It broke. Dude, I had to sit there and look at it and eat it, and it broke me.
I hope that the production company that's putting this together has also supplied you with a gym.
A gym.
Just on the outside, right? Like between takes, you're just like pumping iron and getting fit. Because like this, to me, sounds like a dream job.
It's a dream job. I was in production. Let's say I was waking up every morning working out before production. Just because mentally I was like, you know what, I should do this.
Yeah.
And you don't eat on set. You don't eat any of your meals. You only eat when you're tasting.
Huh.
Though there was a round, the first round of the day, 9 a.m. We're chugging milkshakes.
Let's go.
And I said, we are messed up for the rest of the day.
That day's done.
That day is done. And we had to be like, we got 2 more burger rounds after this?
Did you like call your agent and be like, and I'm getting paid for this?
Yeah.
And I'm getting paid, right? Like,
it was, look,
checks or cash?
There's so many times in my career where I have to pinch myself. And we were talking about earlier, I went to the WWE show in Toronto, Elimination Chamber. They put me on the screen. Pat McAfee is giving me props. I pinch myself so many moments in life, right?
Yeah.
And this burger show is one of them.
Yeah.
But I get to do it. So my whole mantra and everything I do is bringing people joy. So if I have joy in what I do, I'm hoping that the product of what I make is bringing others joy.
This is how much joy you bring. Normally, I would hate someone with a haircut like yours because it's so freaking good. It's slick. It's on purpose. It's designed. And so is Johnny Garbett, who's flanked on my right. And so I am a sandwich. You're the grilled cheese bun, but I'm horse manure in the middle.
No, you know what I mean? You're the burger.
I'm the burger, but the burger made of not 80-20, 20-80. Anyways, your hair is awesome. And that's my point. Normally I would hate a guy like you because you've got so much success, but you're so nice, and I love your hair.
Thank you, man.
You're very
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That's it.
That means a lot.
Has really nothing to do with your show or anything, but I just had to get
This guy's just fangirling.
There's so much
in the
work that
studio.
goes in his hair.
Pat McAfee is the only one that loves you.
Yeah.
Did you have any other games you wanted to play?
You know what? I don't think we have time.
Yeah, I got you. Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately not. But next time Andrew comes through, I just wanted to shout out because like I'm a big sneakerhead too.
Yeah.
And I remember when you were doing Run the Burbs, and it was like I think it was like you were doing like a Zoom interview.
Yeah.
And I saw you there.
Yeah.
And you were in your office or somewhere.
Yeah.
And behind you was the most incredible shoe collection.
Sneaker wall.
And WWE belts.
Yeah.
And I was like, sir!
Yeah.
Come and see this guy's background.
Yeah.
This is what I want.
Yeah.
And I made her come down and see it. So when you come back, I feel like we need to delve into that because I know you got like you're involved with is it YYC Soldiers?
Yeah.
And you do like sneaker meetups and all that kind of stuff.
Do that. Next time you come to my house.
Okay, dude.
You record it at my place.
Okay, all right. Let's do that.
Studio.
Because it's crazy. Okay, hold on. Can I have 1 minute? Okay. Okay, you love sneakers. I saw this thing and I said, okay, do you know about the Pizza Hut pie tops?
No.
Okay, in 2018, Pizza Hut released a thing of sneakers. It was called the Pizza Hut Pie Tops.
Yeah.
Where in 2018, the whole shtick was it looked like a pizza with a box, but it had technology where if you pressed a button, it would order pizza to your house.
Yeah.
Do you understand that?
Yes.
Okay, it's insane. So, as you know, Nike, SB have come out with some collabs. So these are the greatest shoe food collabs. You tell me which one beats the other, okay? Yeah. In 2020, Nike SB came out with the Ben and Jerry Chunky Dunky.
Okay, yeah.
Is taking on the Nike SB in 2016, the Chicken and Waffles. Mm-hmm. Which one wins that big shoe battle?
I will say the Chunky Dunky for a couple reasons.
This guy's my guy.
I think if you're wearing a Nike SB, that shoe in itself is a bit more colorful and flashy. I think it encompasses Ben & Jerry's so well. So I love the coloring on it. I love the uniqueness. There's tie-dye on it. The chicken and waffle, to me, when you look at it from a distance, looks like a regular shoe.
I agree with you.
Whereas the Ben & Jerry, you see, they're like, that is a special shoe. But I think the Ben & Jerry came in a Ben & Jerry's tub. So that to me is like that's a grail for sure.
I could not agree more.
Yeah.
I feel like the chicken and waffle is almost like a beige wall until you get up and see the detail and the syrup coming off the swoosh. Like you get up there, you're like, this is art.
Yeah.
But from away, you're like, hey, you're rocking Chunky Dunks.
So you got to go up and look at the details to appreciate it. Whereas like I love a big, bold, flashy shoe.
Number 2, the Nike SB Dunk Low, the Heineken released in 03.
Yeah.
Or more recent, and I've seen a guy around here on them, and I want to ask about them. The Dunk Low Montreal Bagel.
I was going to say the bagel.
Okay, all right.
I have a friend, Mark Selby, who reached out to me. He's like, Andrew, I want to get these bagels. Where do I get them? And I looked on StockX, which is a stock market for sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
I saw him. I said, you should buy them here. He bought a pair. I'm like, Mark, go buy 3 pairs right now. He's like, why? And I'm like, Mark, these shoes are undervalued. These will pop up in a year when you want another pair. They will be double the price. So he bought 2 or 3 pairs.
Right.
And he did message me later. He's like, they did go up in value. And so when you love a shoe, you got to triple up. You got to have them in the vault. Triple up. I'm a hoarder at heart as well.
Yeah.
So you got the Chunky Dunky versus the Montreal Bagel sneaker.
Yeah.
Which one is the best of the best?
Well, it really depends. If you are, if you're from Montreal, if you have a Jewish background, that Montreal sneaker is like your culture right there, right?
Yeah.
But I think the Chunky Dunky is like, I love a big, bold, vibrant sneaker. That to me has different materials on it. It's so unique. There may never be a shoe like it ever again.
Wow.
And so I love the Chunky Dunky.
That's awesome. I really hope they come up with the Andrew Phung Big Burger Battle shoe collab, right?
Yeah.
I hope people are listening right now because they do have those, and look them up, right? Because now you got that Big Burger money.
Yeah.
Go get those Pizza Hut pie tops.
I have a pair of Hellman's mayonnaise sneakers.
Okay.
That are sitting in the closet right now that I love. They look like a Hellman's bottle, but it's also made from recycled food waste.
Oh, that's
so
great.
that's my sneaker food collab grail right there.
I love it. That's amazing.
We love having you on. We got to roll. I know you got a million places to go. But Andrew Phung is with us right now. Thank you
I got
for
a million
joining
places
us.
to go, but I love being here.
I want you to stay longer.
I love being here with you guys.
And don't forget, he said we can come to his house.
Honestly, you come to my house.
But that's like scheduled, Johnny. You don't just show up.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like a pay-per-view night. I'd be cool if you come over.
All right. I'll be there for Backlash.
We got a playoff game. We got a Maple Leafs playoff game. I'm cool with
Well,
it.
bringing joy is your mantra. You succeed. This has been so much fun, and you exude pure joy. And so thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Of course. You can see more of Andrew on Big Burger Battle. You can watch it on the Flavour Network and stream anytime at Stack TV.